I get asked this question a lot. Where can I find jobs within the clinical research industry? It's a good question. There are several key players in the clinical research industry. You have the pharmaceutical company, which is like Pfizer, Merck, Johnson & Johnson, the one that is developing the drug or device. You have the clinical research organization, the CRO, which is ICON, IQVIA, PPD, Syneos, Parexel, just to name a few. And those are the companies where the pharmaceutical company, like Merck, outsource their study to be managed and handled to the CRO. So let's just say Merck says, we have $3 million and we want to do a study on obesity. We don't want to do it in-house. We're going to outsource it to ICON to do it for us. And so ICON is going to manage the study. They're going to find the investigators, have the SIVs done, have the interim monitoring visits done, help the study with recruitment, retention, do the closeout, clean the data, and give the data back to Merck so Merck can do the final analysis on the data received. So that is the pharmaceutical company hiring the CRO, and they're outsourcing the study to the CRO to conduct. So that's another place where you can find jobs. And then you have the site level, where if you're on the site level, you're working with the doctors, you're seeing patients, or working with the patients, or you could be somewhere within the practice where maybe you're in the recruitment department, the laboratory department, you're in the pharmacy at the site level, and then you have study coordinators or research assistants seeing the patients, following the protocol, collecting the data, and then entering the data so you can have data management as well at the site level, or data entry, they call it. So we have pharmaceutical, CRO, site level. Jobs in clinical research are at all three of those points, but you also should consider the vendors that help with the studies. So vendors such as imaging vendors, or the IRT vendors, or the central lab, patient recruitment vendors. There's several vendors that work with clinical research trials that also have opportunities. And then there's the IRB, the Institutional Review Board, where there's opportunities as well. So if you think about it, if you are looking for roles within clinical research, you want to look at where the opportunities lie, and don't just bottleneck yourself into one area, which is the site level where you're working with patients, or just at the pharmaceutical level, or just at the CRO level. Go ahead and expand. Look at the various vendors. If you ever worked with a vendor on a clinical research trial, did you enjoy the things that they did, the interactions that you had? Could you see yourself in that role? If so, there's opportunity there. So I get that question a lot. Where can I find jobs? There's a lot of jobs available. You just have to know where to look. And the biggest key is start looking at the job descriptions and looking at the job requirements for the roles that you see. And you have to do a little self-study. Do I want to be on the site level? Do I want to be on the pharmaceutical level, on the vendor level? And then based off of that, you work backwards and use the qualifications or requirements for the job to align yourself with that job. If you need additional guidance, you can check out the Intro to Clinical Research Guidebook that we have. And it outlines the key players in the clinical research industry with listing out titles that you would find of different roles at those companies. I would say, look at the titles. Go to the job website and look at those requirements. Is that something that interests you? This is how you can start narrowing it down. So there's a lot of opportunities out there. You just have to start choosing what works for you. And if you have further questions, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn, or you can book a career services session where you can speak with the clinical research professional one-on-one and map out a plan for yourself and say, okay, this is where I ideally want to be. How can I get there the fastest without taking a lot of windy roads there? You want to go straight. You don't want to go over here and go over here and go over here when your ultimate road that you want to be in is in a totally different direction. You want to speak to a professional so you can go ahead and dive right in and do what you want to do in your career quickly and most efficiently. All right. See you again soon.